All right. This is a response to Laci Green versus Phillip DeFranco. These are two very big YouTube videos that shows how one side of things is very reasonable, very rational in its discussion, and one thing that I really respect from him, especially how I recently got back into his channel, is how much of a respect I have for him, how much he grew up. Because I remember a time back in 2008, 2012, where he was a little bit leftist in his political views. He was a little bit more politically biased, and it always ticks me off because I always wondered about that about him, because there is such a thing besides the left and the right. There's something more important than that. There's libertarianism. There's Green Party. There's that gray area that where you could be socially liberal, but you could be very fiscally responsible, fiscally conservative. And so for me, when I got back in touch and watching all his videos and watching, especially when it comes to the Black Lives Matter issue, and also when Kate Upton criticized the Miami Dolphins for kneeling down and refusing to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem, and how Phillip DeFranco actually like cited all of what Kate Upton had to say, criticizing constructive criticism on the Miami Dolphins on how they should be standing up. Like there's nothing wrong with freedom of expression. There's nothing wrong for freedom to protest. But when it comes to September 11, I think it's time to set our egos aside and respect for what happened during September 11. That's something, and he cited all of what she had to say. He didn't like splice it. He didn't try to. He didn't try to make it misconstrued, make it something that's against, like kind of like a hit piece against Kate Upton, and that's something that I can really respect from Phillip DeFranco. Like he really grew up in, and so the recent controversy, I may be 2 or 3 days late when it comes to this, but the YouTube drama that is the cancer, that is the YouTube drama cancer of between major YouTubers and all that stuff, it still continues. And the next person is that I like to very much criticize, and everybody else has criticized her as well, is Laci Green. Laci Green is known to be a very strong feminist, like the third wave of feminism, also known as neo-Nazis as well. Not neo-Nazis, my bad. Feminazis or SJW, social justice warriors. And here's the thing about Laci. One thing that you got also add into the controversy surrounding her videos, how she wrongfully reported a little known YouTuber who happens to be under the age of 21, and she's a millennial, and she's a female, and she has quite a bit of subscribers, quite a bit of views, and she's kind of influential. And it just so happens that she decides to criticize what Laci Green like preaches about. So basically, in other words, this person who has some influence, Laci rather just decided to report her because it was against fair use, supposedly fair use, and against federal law, and it was also against her likeness, or it's against the rules to use your likeness, even though it is known that she uses clickbait videos and clickbait titles and clickbait thumbnails in her videos. So who is the hypocrisy now, Laci? Seriously. And one thing that you really gotta know on how pretentious these major YouTubers are, that they live in their own little world, is that they think they're untouchable, and until they decide, they realize that shit hits the fan, it's going to hit them where it hurts, their view counts, their money. That's when they do damage control. And in the latest video that she responded is that how she asked the victim. This same woman that actually got like a Streamy Award for best science and best education. That's kind of stupid. All right, see you later.